Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two blended Scotch whiskeys, Grant's, now known as Grant's Triple Wood. This is when it was previously sold as Grant's Family Reserve. Got this big old bottle for $21.99, but now everybody's got it for $23.99. Oh well, I got it $2 cheaper about 6 months ago. Here's the competitor. Okay, so Grant's was introduced in 1887, 133 years ago. J.W. Dant's blended Scotch whiskey, aged 3 years. Grant's, no age statement. This, 3 years, 36 months. J.W. Dant's, there's the Scottish thing going there. Unicorn, horse, shield. Two different flags, which I can't make out. Well, anyway, it's just trying to look British. And then JW, trying to mimic J and B, I guess, which is about $20 a bottle. This is $8.99, 1 liter. 1 liter bottle, $8.99. True story. J.W. Dance, not a made-up name. It's not alluding back to some obscure person who actually existed. It's a real company started by a real name. A real person, J.W. Dant, a Scottish immigrant who came to the United States. He started his company in 1836, 184 years ago. 184 years ago. But he was in the bourbon business. You can get J.W. Dant's bourbon straight or bonded. You can get blended whiskey. I have a bottle I haven't opened yet. J.W. Dant's charcoal perfected American blended whiskey. So he started this company, and then it got bigger, you see, and then he started procuring Scotch from Scotland, obviously. So then they didn't make it; they just procured it. J.W. Dant's blended Scotch whiskey. Who is the distiller that they get it from? I don't know. They started bringing in Canadian whiskey, Irish whiskey, rum, gin, vodka. They had a whole line, just like a lot of these other companies, with their name on it. But they've been bought out by Heaven Hill, so it's a Heaven Hill line today. Most of the smaller liquor companies have been bought out by the bigger liquor companies. Consolidation, name of the game. It's happening in the beer world too, but people get more hissified over it, hissy fit over it, because they're not used to that so much, perhaps, in the craft beer world, that they have buyouts. But in the liquor world, it's not unusual. It's the norm. But anyway, clear bottle for both of these, not necessarily the best thing. It's better to have a brown bottle or at least green to protect it from the light, but they're clear. So already Dance wins on price. $8.99 for a liter, 20, and I'm going by the price right now, $24 for a 1,750 milliliter. So 1 liter plus 750, and then 1 liter. 1,000, and then 1,750. Maxwell, good morning, Jay. Good morning to you, Maxwell, over there in the Russian Federation. He joined us on a hangout once, and we hope he joins us again. If he's interested, no pressure. Robert, the Whiskey Scout, recently reviewed Passport Scotch. I didn't watch it because I've never had Passport Scotch. I know it's a growing brand. Well, the company claims it is, at least. Who makes Passport Scotch? I believe Chivas Brothers. It's been around since the 1960s. You don't need a passport to buy it. I know where to get it. I really would rather climb the ladder and do some more expensive Scotch, blended Scotch whiskeys. But since Robert did the Passport, I guess I would like to try it. Actually, I would like to try a lot of the other lower grade ones, like Crawford's, VAT 69 Gold. We can only get that 69 Gold here. Passport, Pinch. Well, Pinch is higher grade. Pinch, Valentine. I could just name. I could go on and on and on, and there's no point in doing that. And you're never going to try everything. That's in your mind. You might think, "Ooh, I'm into the beer hobby now. I'm going to try every beer." No, you're not. I'm going to try every blended scotch. No, you're not. I'm going to try every single malt scotch. No, you're not. I'm going to try every wine. You're just not. You can't. It's a unattainable goal, and it doesn't even need to be a goal. Just try different things, enjoy them, and then have, and be relaxed about it. Now, I do get impatient. I don't want to wait, and I do get caught up in the frenzy myself. So I'm preaching, but I don't necessarily follow my own advice. But you know what I'm saying? Like I'll say, oh, I'm gonna try this, that. And it's an exponential growth. You can't do it. Like Valentine, you say, oh, Valentine, I see that around. You want to try it. But then you look on their website and they've got these 15 other offerings that are higher grade. And then they're not even showing all of what they make. And then you say, whoa, I want to try the Valentine 25 year. I want to try this. It might be best just to focus on one brand of scotch and go up the ladder. I mean, that'll keep you occupied for a decade, more than or at least a few years. Like you say, I'm going to do Chivas Regal and try all the varieties. I mean, you could be preoccupied with that. It just take up a lot of time, and there wouldn't be anything wrong with it. And it'd be pretty adventurous. It'd be an adventure because you climb the ladder and you see how it changes higher up in the aging and the different wood treatments and all. So that would be an adventure. Chivas Regal, I wasn't too impressed with that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. 80 proof, cost me $35. I thought it was dull. Didn't taste bad. It was just bland. And I said, wow, they aged it in oak for 12 years. 12 years, and all they got was that. But I know that if I try this Chivas Regal Extra, the Mitsunara, Asian Japanese oak, the 18 year, the 25 year, I know those are going to be way better. I know it. But the 25 year, I think, costs like $200. Anyway, like the Johnny Walker Blue Label cost me $226 plus tax. Or was it $226.99? I don't remember. It was a lot. I just remember after the tax, it was like $242 or whatever. You say $242 after tax to buy a bottle of scotch. No way. It's not worth it. Well, yeah, it's not really worth it. But when you put it in taste challenges against all the other ones, it destroys them. It's like they can't compete. So you think it's not, but then when you try to put other ones up against it, it just blows them up. And some things that you think are really great, like you'll say, oh, this scotch is great. It's great. Havana's great, and then you put it in a blind taste test against Johnny Walker Blue Label. Forget it. I mean, it's just, it's such a mismatch. It's scary in a way. It's sort of like watching football. You might see a team and say, wow, Toledo, they're really good this year. The Toledo Rockets, they're dominating the Mid-American Conference. And they may be very good. Only lost one game, none in conference. They lost to, on the road to Southern California in the last second field goal. And you say, they're great. But then they go to a bowl game and they play Florida and the Gator Bowl. And you say, well, I don't understand. They're getting beat 48-10. I thought Toledo was so great, So it's all a relative thing. It's a lot of these blended scotch on their own or in similar level, they're really good. But like I said, that Blue Label just blows it up. Anyway. And it doesn't take that high. You don't have to go that high for it to be like that, because I'll give you an example, like Buchanan's 12-year age, Buchanan's Deluxe. That pretty much dominates all the rest I have for $35 and down. $35 a bottle and down. It dominates. It's in a way laughable. So there is a lot of room to maneuver with these. It's not all the same. Like you say, it's all the same. No way. No way, Jack. These are both the same color though. They're gold. With a slight, if you want to press the issue, greenish hue. But they're gold. Yeah, like an olive oil. You know, olive oil would be like that, have that like slight greenish hue. But they're very similar to extra virgin olive oil color. That color. Okay. Here's my prediction, you know. I think, don't know, hadn't done it yet. I think the JW Dant's going to win. I think Dance is going to win. Why? Because it's a great scotch? No. It's not even that great. It's going to win because Grant's is not that good. I have been very disappointed with Grant's. It tastes like strong cereal grains. Which, tell you the truth, I'm not dying to drink. You say, well, you drink beer? Beer? That's all made with cereal grains. Well, it used to be, remember back in those days? But now it's all fruit flavors added, you know, but when beer is brewed properly, it doesn't really taste like grain so much. It'll taste more like bread, which is baked, you know, and it rises with yeast, you know, so you understand. So the whiskey's sort of the same way. It's made with grains and then it's distilled, and then the yeast fermenting and everything. It's sort of like bread. And then the real good ones have that bread taste, bread dough, rich peat smoke. Peat and the smoke is what I meant to say. Two different components. Well, anyway, I think Dance is going to win, but I don't know, and I'm going to know right now because I'm doing it right now. Here we go, the taste challenge. First aroma. A little peatiness. Like you wouldn't smell this and think it's Canadian whiskey, and you wouldn't smell it and think it's American bourbon or blended whiskey. All right, you're not going to think that. And it smells like blended scotch, but kind of just a cheap one. If you think scotch is expensive, think again. You can get some really cheap ones. For example, Highland Mist. International market has bottles for $6.49. $6.49 for a bottle of whiskey, Scotch whiskey. And that's including the shipping from all the way from Scotland. You know what I'm saying? There could be tariffs from the European Union. Well, I guess pretty soon just from the United Kingdom, because they're leaving the European Union, which was very smart. They made a very bad decision to ever join it in 1973, as they found out to their detriment. Had a hell of a time, had a heck of a time getting out. But these unions tend to be like that. You can join easy, but try to leave. And I remember a story about 1861. Some people tried to leave something, and boy. Anyway, it smells all right, but it's just kind of cereal grainy. It's okay. I mean, it just smells like grain. If I was a rat, I'd probably like it. You say rats don't drink whiskey. I know, but you know what I'm saying, because of the grain. Oh, whoa. This one smells kind of like that too with the grain, but it's more of that weird candy corn caramel. You know what that's telling me? It's got a lot of grain liquor in it. Grain whiskey. They call it grain whiskey in Scotland, grain whiskey. But it's just really grain spirits. It's just like unaged, column stilled bulk product made from almost assuredly corn. Doesn't have to be from corn. Doesn't have to be. Could be from any grain. But, you know, corn is cheap, so they use it, maize. But sometimes it'll take on this weird candy corn like you get for Halloween, you know, like corn syrup. I mean, you might like it. It's sweeter. It's more candy-like. Honestly, which one would I rather smell? Neither. So I'm not in love with either one of these, but this one has more peat and that one has more of that strange candy corn. I think this is the Grant's, because I think Grant's is more authentic smelling, but I don't know. Let's go with the taste. I don't know. Cheers to the morning. Daylight's coming. People ask me all the time, why you sit in the dark? I said, well, that's the whole concept of Dawn Busters. I start and it's dark. By the time I finish, the sun is out. It's daytime. We welcome the dawn with a whiskey tasting or rum tasting or, or brandy coming up. Man, oh man, that is harsh. It's not smooth. It's jagged, ragged grain whiskey. You say, they're using single malts in Highland. I was about to say Highland Miss Grants. I know that. It's not 100% grain whiskey, but may as well be. Marcus Welby. You know what I mean? It may as well be because it's just it's bread. I was eating this French bread. Oh man, why would you want to drink this? I would never want to drink this. Grant started okay, like a B-, but I had a feeling it was going to drop. Some of these will do that. They'll start off like, well, it's marginally good. Oh, every time you try it, it gets worse. It just degrades. I've had that happen with beer, but it's hard, but not as much because beer, you're not getting a whole bottle and sipping on it for months. You're only talking about minutes, and then you might retry it a few years later. So it's harder to say. But with whiskey, you can buy a whole bottle, and it could take you years to finish it, and you think, and with the taste challenges, that's good because every few days during the week, I'm challenging it, and you get a real familiarity with it. But this is one you don't want to be familiar with. Familiarity breeds contempt, and I have great contempt for it. Yeah, there's a little sugar in it, but it's mostly just harsh, unappealing, unfriendly grain alcohol. And I just don't like it. And I don't know why anybody would like that. Like you say, well, I like it. I mix it with Hawaiian punch and it's good. It's good. I watch Andy Griffith reruns when I get off of work at 6 in the morning. Okay, for that kind of application, fine. But why would you even pay $15.99? I was checking prices for grants yesterday, $15.99. I said, Well, one place in Texas had for $12.99 specs. But I don't live in Texas, so it does me no good. Okay. I'm certainly not buying more of it. Okay, this is such a mismatch that it's comical. It's sad, really. This is obviously the dance. Obviously the dance. Why do I say that? I'll tell you why. It's got some smoke component. Oh, well, it's lightly smoked, but there's definitely smoke throughout the sip. All right. There's peatiness, peat. Or as people say, peat moss, the peat from the soil. Because they take the peat, which is that degraded soil, which is organic matter. It's like rotted vegetable matter, huh? They dry it and they burn it in the fireplace, or they burn it to make heat to make the whiskey. Got to have the boil, and then they'll roast the grain, single malt barley, malted, well, it could just be, it doesn't have to be single, malted barley over the peat fires. It gives it that smokiness, which some people like myself like. I like the smokiness in Scotch. Other people can't stand it, Oh, it smell like smoked sausage, tastes like smoked sausage. Or some people say sausages. They can't say sausage, sausages. I say, well, I like that, Yeah, this tastes more like Scotch to me. Smokiness, it's smoother, it's milder. There's a grain underbody for sure. A grain underbody. What do you expect? It's about 80% grain whiskey, but it's nice. It's pleasant. Is it worth $8.99 a liter? Is it worth $8.99 a liter? It's worth much more than that, in my opinion, and it destroys Grant's, which is not hardly worth the price. Now, to be fair, put it in perspective, the DW Dance has a weird aroma. It's stinging, and it's like strange caramel. I don't know about the smell, but the sip, the flavor is much better than Grant's, much better. So sorry, Grant, you just lose again. The only thing Grant's has been doing in these challenges is just losing. Am I paranoid about that or worried about that? No, not in any way. I have no stock in Grant's. It was a family-owned company anyway. I have no interest in them aside from buying them and trying them. I just don't care. Little. It's like a harsh wood barrel note too. It's like everything with this. It's like everything with this product isn't good. Now I'm gonna feel funny if I would lift up that glass and it doesn't say Grant's. But in my mind, I think it's gonna say Grant's. You know what I mean? So let me look. I know it's gonna say Grant's. Boy, better. I'm gonna feel terrible if it doesn't, because I'm bragging on what I think is Dant. Dant beats Grant. Dance beats Grant's because they're both ants. Ants. A-N-T apostrophe S. I think Dance beats Grant's. Dance beats Grant's. So we're about to find out. If I'm wrong, I'm going to feel so bad like the other day when I got it wrong. But I've only got it wrong once. I've only got this taste challenge wrong once. And I'm going to do what, like 12 of them? Something like that. I got so many Scotch whiskeys lined up. If I only get it wrong once, I'm going to feel really good. How you feel? I feel real good. The Canadian whiskey, I only got it wrong once, the last one I did. So I felt really good about that. How's your record? It's clean. It's real clean, like my conscience. All right, here we go. Grant's. I hope. It is Grant's. Oh, man, I'm getting a taste for it. Not a taste meaning that I like it. I'm getting familiar with it where I get it right every time. But it's not right. It's wrong. It's not good. Oh, man, this stuff. Now, Robert, the Whiskey Scout, saying, I think it's pretty good, but I just don't agree with him. I think it's pretty bad. I do want to try that Passport. I think Sazerac brings in Passport. He must have some agreement with Chivas Brothers, meaning Pernod Ricard. Because I'm pretty sure Sazerac lists Passport on their website. But I know that Chivas Brothers lists it as one of their brands. And they talk about the history of it. We brought this out in 1965. Oh, it's one of the fastest growing Scotch whiskeys in Asia, and on and on and on. These complicated agreements between these companies can boggle your mind. Oh yeah. If there was ever a mismatch, this is it. The Dance is so much better. It's scary in a way. $8.99. Look at that. $8.99. I get 1,000 milliliters. And I gotta pay nearly 3 times as much, over twice as much to get 1,750. So of course you get a bigger bottle, but what are you getting? Badness. Oh yeah, sorry Grant, you just got destroyed in this. I thought it was going to be a loss for Grant. Honestly, I thought they would lose. I never thought it was going to be this bad of a beating. That is just cereal grain. I may as well go get those Cheerios and eat them. But of course, I would enjoy the Cheerios much more. The Honey Nut Cheerios, a much nicer flavor. This, you say, well, get you drunk. 80 proof. Yeah, baby. That's about the only thing it's got if you're into drinking and getting drunk enough. I'm not actually into that. I just like tasting them. Ugh, get out of my face. Blant's. Okay. Dance. It's smoky, lightly smoked. It's got a little light peat. The whole sip is smooth. It's just smooth across the sip. You see, and it's only aged 3 years. I know. It's just nice progression across the sip. Now, I actually would buy Dance again on purpose, just to drink. I mean, I got half the bottle left, so it ain't going to be anytime soon. I would give this to somebody and not feel bad about it. If I gave that to John and Neely, I don't know if he can get Dance out there in Georgia. I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. I say, you want to try a really good scotch for a cheap price? There's your answer. Clan McGregor, another answer. That's coming later, though. That's the end. That's the end. But Grant's, I wouldn't even want it if somebody gave it to me. You know, if somebody said, here's a bottle of Grant's, I'd say, oh, okay, thanks. I'd be trying to give it to somebody else. I mean, I'm going to do the taste challenge. Look how much I have left. I must have, it's going to take, this is 50 taste challenges, I bet you. Well, maybe 25. 25 taste challenges. No, it's more than that. It's got to be more than that. This is a huge bottle, and I don't put a lot in a glass for a taste challenge. It might be 50. 50 taste challenges of misery is what it's going to be. Shoot. Drewski Brewski says, hey, Ronald, I just want to apologize for my ignorant comments the other night. I'm a drunk. Well, you don't have to keep saying that. You know, you're kind of repeating yourself. You already said that, but you might have forgotten saying that. You know, I don't know what to say, man. I wish you could do it in a limited, on a very limited basis like I do. You'd be in a lot better shape. But I cannot control other people, and I have no intention to control other people. I pray for them. I can pray for them and wish them the best. But I can't control them. I can't. I know people that smoke cigarettes all day long, night, day, morning, evening, afternoon. Their health is wrecked. I'm not an anti-cigarette fanatic, you know. After I've studied the ideas behind that, I realized there was a lot of bad propaganda about all that. But you could take things too far. And many people do. So Dance is a clear winner, and Grant's is the clear loser. It's not even a matter of arguing about, well, if you consider price, if you consider this. No, it's just an open and shut case. Grant's loses, and it's 100-0. That's how easily it is. Now, of course, I cannot get JW Dance in this town, but I live in a town that's only like 27,000 people. So you're just not going to have the availability. Like if you go to Metairie, which has 100,000 people or more, or like 150,000 people. Yeah, you're going to get a bigger variety. New Orleans, 300,000 people, you're going to get even more variety. So but I don't even have to explain that. Everybody can realize that. You're going to get in a tiny town, you're going to get a tiny availability generally, and in a big city like New York City, you could get an extraordinary availability that you'd never see anywhere else in the world, more than likely, or very unlikely to match it. All right, so Laissez Le Bon Temps Relais, an excellent taste challenge, clear-cut winner. In a couple of days, I plan to do Grant's against Cuddy Sark, J&B, 100 Pipers. They're going to all be blow-ups, just like this. Grant's is going to do so bad. I know. I'm telling you right now, just save time. Don't even watch them. It's going to be that bad. Thanks.